The story begins aboard the human exploration vessel Iron Dawn, patrolling the outer edge of the Terran defense zone. Captain Jake Miller sits in his command chair, watching the stars through the bridge viewport. His crew of 30 humans operates with quiet efficiency, a stark contrast to the chaos about to unfold. Communications. Officer Lisa Park suddenly straightens at her station. "Captain, I'm picking up a distress signal." It's not human origin. Her fingers dance across the console, filtering through static and interference. The signal is weak, but persistent, repeating in mathematical patterns that suggest intelligence. "Can you decode it?" Miller asks, moving to stand behind her station. "Working on it, sir." The signal structure is ... strange. It's using basic mathematical sequences, but the transmission method is unlike anything in our databases. Park's brow furrows in concentration. "Sir, I think this is from a species we've never encountered before." The bridge falls silent except for the hum of ship systems. First Officer Tom Blake joins them at the communications station. "How far out is the source?" "Approximately 47 light hours. Edge of the Kepler system." Park looks up at the captain. "Sir, the signal is getting weaker. Whatever's happening out there, it's happening fast." Miller considers their options. The Iron Dawn is a military vessel, built for both exploration and combat. Its crew has seen action against pirates and hostile alien factions, but first contact with an unknown species requires careful consideration. However, the urgency in the repeating signal suggests lives hang in the balance. "Translate what you can and put it through the speakers," Miller orders. The bridge fills with an eerie electronic voice as the ship's computer attempts translation. Emergency ... emergency. Unknown attackers, shields failing, peaceful research vessel, crew of 40-3 ... Children aboard ... please ... anyone. Help us ... double quotes. The message cuts to static, then repeats. The translated voice carries desperation that transcends species. Barriers. Somewhere in the void, innocent beings face death. Blake shakes his head. "Could be a trap, Captain. We've seen pirates use fake distress calls before." "Not like this," Park interrupts, studying her readings. "The signal degradation is consistent with genuine system failures. And sir... She pauses, highlighting data on her screen. "I'm detecting multiple high-energy signatures in that area." "Weapons fire." Miller makes his decision quickly. "Set course for the Kepler system. Maximum burn. All hands to battle stations. Blake, wake up the off-duty crew and run full diagnostics on all weapon systems." As alarms sound throughout the ship, the crew springs into action. The Iron Dawn's engines roar to life, pushing the vessel toward an unknown confrontation. In the engineering bay, Chief Engineer Mike Stone oversees the power distribution, routing extra energy to weapons and shields. "Captain," Park calls out, 20 minutes into their journey, "I'm getting clearer readings now. There are definitely two groups of ships engaged in combat. The distress signal is coming from a single vessel. The attackers ... There are at least 12 ships surrounding it." Miller studies the tactical display Blake has pulled up. The attacking formation shows military precision. This isn't random piracy. "Any identification on the hostile vessels?" "Negative, sir. But their weapon signatures are familiar. I'm seeing plasma torpedo patterns similar to the Vrak Confederation ships we encountered last year." The Vrak Confederation, a militant alien empire known for enslaving weaker species and strip mining entire worlds. If they're attacking unknown aliens, it probably means those aliens have something the Vrak want, or they've simply wandered into. Claimed territory. Estimated time to weapons range? Miller asks. 37 minutes at current speed, Blake responds. Miller activates the ship-wide communication system. "This is the captain. We are responding to a distress call from an unknown alien species under attack by hostile forces. This is a rescue mission, but we go in ready for a fight. These aliens called for help, and humanity answers that call. All departments report readiness status. One by one, department heads confirm their preparation. Weapons armed, shields at maximum, medical bay prepared for casualties, and Marines suited up for potential boarding actions. As they approach the Kepler system, the crew of the Iron Dawn prepares to introduce themselves to both new allies and enemies. The humans don't yet know they're about to encounter the gentle Keth, a peaceful species of explorers who have never known war. Nor do they realize that the Vrak consider humans an inferior species, barely worth noticing. Both misconceptions are about to be violently corrected. The stage is set for humanity to demonstrate why their world earned the designation Deathworld, and why its inhabitants have never lost a war they truly committed to winning. Asterisk the Iron Dawn drops out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Kepler system, and the tactical situation immediately becomes clear. On the main screen, a sleek silver vessel, clearly alien in design, drifts helplessly in space, while 12 dark, angular ships circle it like predators. "My God," whispers Park as the computer enhances the image. The alien ship is beautiful, with flowing curves and what appear to be transparent sections revealing gardens and open spaces inside. It's more like a flying city than a warship. No. Weapon signatures from the alien vessel, Blake reports. But the attacking ships are definitely Vrak. Configuration matches our intelligence files perfectly. Miller studies the tactical display. The Vrak ships are smaller than the Iron Dawn, but heavily armed. Their formation suggests they're toying with their prey rather than finishing it quickly. Range to target? 15,000 kilometers to the outer perimeter. We're still outside their sensor range. Good. Park, can you establish communication with the alien vessel? Already trying, sir. They're not responding to standard frequencies. But wait. Her eyes widen. Sir, I'm picking up their internal communications. Their language is completely unknown, but the computer is starting to build a translation matrix based on mathematical concepts in their distress call. The speakers crackle with alien voices, filtered through the ship's translation system. Hull breach on deck 7. Losing atmosphere. Children to the emergency pods. Why won't they let us surrender? The bridge crew exchanges grim looks. The aliens aren't warriors. Their families under attack. Captain, Blake says quietly, we're outnumbered 12-1. Tactically speaking, we should call for reinforcements. Miller shakes his head. By the time backup arrives, those people will be dead or enslaved. We go in now. He activates the tactical system, highlighting the enemy formation. Here's how we do this. The Vrak are overconfident. They think they're hunting helpless prey. We'll use that against them. Blake, prepare. A full spread of quantum torpedoes. Target their command ship first. Sir, interrupts Park. Incoming transmission from the Vrak fleet. They've detected us. Put it through. The main screen shifts to show a reptilian alien with scarred scales and cold yellow eyes. When it speaks, the computer translates its hissing voice. Human vessel, you enter Vrak hunting grounds. Turn away or be destroyed with the prey. Miller steps forward, his expression hardening. This is Captain Jake Miller of the Terran vessel Iron Dawn. You are attacking a defenseless ship with civilians aboard. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. The Vrak commander's eyes narrow with what might be amusement. Humans? Yes, we know of your kind. Weak mammals from a backwater world. You are barely worth our attention. Leave now, and we will allow you to live. Counteroffer, Miller replies coldly. You have 10 seconds to break off your attack and leave this system. After that, we start shooting. The aliens' laughter sounds like breaking glass. Foolish human. We are 12 ships to your one. You cannot. Miller cuts the transmission and turns to his weapons officer. Chief Petty Officer Rodriguez, fire at will. The Iron Dawn's quantum torpedoes streak across space like vengeful stars. The first salvo catches the Vrak completely off guard. They expected negotiation or retreat, not immediate violence from a single human ship. The lead Vrak vessel explodes in a brilliant flash as its shields fail to stop the concentrated firepower. Direct hit, Rodriguez shouts. Their command ship is gone. The remaining 11 Vrak ships wheel around in confusion, their neat formation dissolving into chaos. They had been hunting helpless prey, not expecting to face a predator themselves. Evasive. Maneuvers, Miller orders as the Vrak recover and return fire. Keep us between their fleet and the alien ship. The Iron Dawn dances through space, its human crew working with a coordination that would impress any military observer. Blake manages shield distribution while Rodriguez maintains continuous fire. Park monitors both alien communications and incoming damage reports. The Vrak are regrouping, Blake reports. They're trying to surround us. Let them try. Miller's voice carries grim satisfaction. They still think like hunters stalking prey. Show them what happens when the prey fights back. Rodriguez, target their engines. I want them helpless, not dead yet. On the damaged alien vessel, the Ketha, species that has never developed weapons beyond simple tools, watches in amazement as the human ship fights with terrifying efficiency. They had sent their distress call hoping for rescue, perhaps by a patrol vessel or merchant ship willing to intervene. They never imagined that help would come in the form of Deathworlders, who treat impossible odds as merely another tactical challenge. To overcome, the real fight is just beginning. Asterisk, the space battle intensifies as the remaining Vrak ships attempt to surround the Iron Dawn. Their plasma weapons light up the void, but Captain Miller's crew responds with calculated aggression that surprises their enemies. 2 more Vrak ships closing from starboard, Blake reports, managing power distribution between shields and weapons. They're trying to bracket us. Rodriguez, concentrated fire on their lead ship. Park, are you still monitoring the alien vessel? Yes, sir. They're recording everything. I think they've never seen combat before. Park's voice carries wonder and horror. Captain, I'm getting clearer translations now. They call themselves the Keth. They're scientists and explorers. This was supposed to be a peaceful research mission. Miller's jaw tightens. The Vrak aren't just attacking a defenseless vessel. They're destroying innocents who never thought to arm themselves against the universe's predators. The Iron Dawn shudders as Vrak plasma bolts impact their shields. Shields down to 70%, Blake announces. Sir, Rodriguez calls out, I've got a solution on 3 targets. Permission to fire full spread? Granted. Show them what human weapons can do. The Iron Dawn unleashes a devastating mirage. Quantum torpedoes and particle beam weapons strike with precision that speaks to centuries of human warfare experience. 2 Vrak ships explode instantly, their crews having no time to screen. A third vessel spins away, venting atmosphere and debris dotting the Keth ship. The aliens watch the battle with growing amazement. Their leader, an elderly being named Elder Neem, speaks to his crew. Record everything. The humans. They fight with such coordination, as if the entire ship thinks as one mind. Elder, responds one of the younger Keth, their weapons. How do they create such destruction? They are from what their databases call a death world, Nim explains, his voice filled with wonder. A planet where everything must fight to survive. They have evolved not just to endure, but to excel at conflict. Back on the Iron Dawn, the tide of battle continues to turn. The Vrak, accustomed to easy victories over peaceful species, find themselves outmatched by human tactical thinking and raw determination. 8 enemy vessels remaining, Blake reports. But sir, they're changing tactics. Looks like they're going to ram us. Miller studies the tactical display. The wrack ships are indeed moving into ramming positions, a desperate tactic that speaks to their growing panic. They're not used to losing, Miller observes. Rodriguez, target their engines specifically. I want them dead in space, not dead period. We might need prisoners for information. Aye, sir. Switching to precision targeting. The Iron Dawn's weapons begin picking apart the wrack fleet with surgical precision. Engine compartments explode, leaving ships drifting helplessly. Some wrack vessels attempt to self-destruct rather than face capture, but human targeting computers are too fast, disabling their power systems before they can complete the sequence. Captain, Park interrupts, I'm receiving a transmission from the Keth vessel. They're thanking us. Put it through. The main screen shows Elder Nim, his large, gentle eyes reflecting gratitude and amazement. When he speaks, his translated voice carries deep emotion. Human Captain, we owe you our lives. We are the Keth, and we have never encountered warriors like you. You fight not for conquest, but for others. This is ... remarkable. Miller nods respectfully. Elder Nim, we couldn't stand by and watch innocents be slaughtered. How is your crew? We have casualties, but most survived thanks to your intervention. Captain, may I ask ... Why did you come? You risked everything for strangers. The question hangs in the space between ships. Miller considers his answer carefully, aware that this moment might define humanity's relationship with a new species. Because someone called for help, he says simply, and humanity answers. Elder Niam's expression shifts to something approaching awe. You traveled across space, faced impossible odds, and risked your lives, simply because we asked for aid? That's what decent people do. The last functional wrack ship attempts to flee, but Rodriguez's targeting is relentless. The enemy vessel loses power and drifts to a stop, joining its disabled companions. All enemy vessels neutralized, Blake reports. Total combat time, 14 minutes. Casualties? Minor injuries only. Medical teams are already handling them. Miller allows himself a moment of satisfaction. 12-1 odds, and his crew had not only survived, but dominated the engagement. The wrack had learned a harsh lesson about underestimating humans. Park. Signal the Keth vessel. Offer assistance with repairs and medical aid. And start preparing a full report for command. They'll want to know about our new friends. As the Iron Dawn moves to assist the damaged Keth ship, neither species realizes that this first contact will reshape galactic politics forever. The universe is about to learn that humanity doesn't just make allies, it makes family. 2 hours after the battle. The Iron Dawn docks with the Keth research vessel, Peaceful Current. The size difference is immediately apparent. The alien ship is nearly 3 times larger than the human warship, built for exploration and scientific study rather than combat. Captain Miller leads a team of medics and engineers through the docking tube, stepping into an alien environment that takes his breath away. The Keth ship's interior resembles a floating garden more than a spacecraft. Bioluminescent plants provide soft lighting, and the corridors curve naturally rather than following the rigid geometry of human design. Elder Ning greets them at the airlock, his tall, slender form moving with graceful dignity despite obvious exhaustion. His species resembles a cross between dolphins and birds, with smooth skin that shifts color based on emotional state and large, intelligent eyes that seem to see straight into a person's soul. Captain Miller, Nim says, his translated voice. Warm with gratitude. Welcome aboard the Peaceful Current. I am Elder Nim, leader of this research expedition. Miller extends his hand in greeting, and Nim carefully takes it with his own three-fingered appendage. The human gesture seems to move the alien deeply. "The honor is ours, Elder Nim. How can we help? Follow me, please. Our injured are in the medical bay, though I warn you, some of my people are disturbed by what they witnessed today." As they walk through the ship, Miller sees Keth civilian scientists, families, children watching him with expressions of wonder and gratitude. Their skin patterns shift to warm golden hues when they see the humans, which Nim explains indicates joy and thankfulness. "We have never seen warfare before," Nim explains as they walk. "The Keth have existed in peace for over 2,000 years. We knew violence existed in the galaxy, but we believed it could always be avoided through reason and understanding." "What changed?" Miller asks gently. "We discovered something the Vrak wanted. Our ship detected unusual energy readings from a derelict vessel near the system's edge. Ancient technology, perhaps from a civilization that died out millennia ago. The Vrak claimed it belonged to them and demanded we surrender our findings." They enter the medical bay, where Dr. Lisa Chun, the Iron Dawn's chief medical officer, is already working alongside Keth healers. The cooperation is remarkable. Despite completely different physiologies, both species' medical personnel are learning from each other. "The Vrak gave us 1 hour to comply," Nim continues. "When we tried to explain that we were merely researchers with no interest in weapons or conquest, they opened fire. A younger Keth approaches one, whose skin patterns show deep blue streaks. That Nim translates as profound sadness mixed with anger. "Elder, this is my daughter, Kira. She was in the observation deck when the attack began." Kira looks at Miller with large eyes that seem older than her years. "Human captain, your people saved us. But I watched your ship fight, and I felt something I have never experienced before." "What did you feel?" "Fury, righteous anger. The Vrak. We're going to kill our children, and your warriors stop them. Is this what it means to be strong?" Miller crouches down to meet her gaze. "Strength isn't about weapons or winning fights, Kira. Real strength is protecting those who can't protect themselves. Today, you showed strength by surviving. Your father showed strength by keeping his people together. We just had different tools to work with." The girl's skin patterns shift to warm gold again, and she impulsively hugs the human captain. The gesture is clearly unprecedented. Several adult Keth gasp in surprise, but Nim's skin shows approval. Meanwhile, Chief Engineer Stone is working with Keth technicians to repair their damaged systems. The collaboration reveals fascinating differences in approach. Human technology prioritizes durability and combat effectiveness, while Keth systems focus on efficiency and harmony with natural processes. "Your power distribution is incredible," Stone tells the lead Keth engineer, a being named Jorth. "It's like your ship is a living organism rather than a machine." "And your weapon systems," Jorth replies with obvious admiration. "They strike with such precision. How do you coordinate such complex targeting while maneuvering in 3 dimensions?" "Lots of practice," Stone says grimly. "More than we'd like." In the ship's central garden, a beautiful space filled with alien plants and small water features, Blake coordinates with Keth leaders to plan their next moves. The Vrak prisoners are secured aboard the Iron Dawn, but their capture has created a diplomatic situation. "The Vrak Confederation will demand their warriors back," warns Nim. "They do not accept defeat gracefully." "Let them come," Miller says, joining the discussion. "But Elder Nim, your people can't continue traveling the galaxy unarmed. Today we're lucky we happen to be close enough to help. Next time, you might not be. You suggest we become warriors like you?" Miller shakes his head. "I suggest you let us teach you to defend yourselves. The universe is full of species like thee. Vrak, peace is precious, but it must be protected. The conversation that follows will change everything for both species. Asterisk, 3 days later, the peaceful current and the Iron Dawn travel together toward the nearest human starbase. The journey has transformed both crews, creating bonds that transcend species barriers. In the Iron Dawn's briefing room, Captain Miller meets with Elder Nim and the senior officers from both ships. The discussion centers on a proposal that will reshape galactic politics. The Keth Collective has considered your offer, Nim begins, his skin patterns showing careful thought. We wish to form an alliance with humanity, but we have concerns. What kind of concerns? Miller asks. Your species is formidable in ways we do not fully understand. In 3 days, we have seen humans treat enemies with mercy, risk their lives for strangers, and show kindness to children who are not there. Yet you also wage war with terrifying efficiency. How do we know you will not become what you fight against? Blake leans forward, because that's exactly what we're afraid of too. Every human military academy teaches the same lesson. The moment you start enjoying the fight, you've lost who you are. Dr. Chon adds, we've studied dozens of species that started as protectors and became conquerors. The difference is having people like the Keth to remind us why we fight. Nim's daughter Kira, who has been quietly observing, speaks up. Elder, may I say something? Her father nods, and she addresses Miller directly. Captain, I have been watching your crew. They do not celebrate their victory over the wreck. Treat their prisoners with respect. They help us repair our ship and tend our wounded. These are not the actions of conquerors. The child speaks wisdom, agrees Jorth, the Keth engineer. I have worked alongside Human Stone for 3 days. He could have simply fixed our systems, but instead, he taught us how to repair them ourselves. A conqueror would create dependence. A friend shares knowledge. Miller nods thoughtfully. Elder Nim, what exactly are you proposing? A formal alliance. The Keth Collective offers our scientific knowledge, our peaceful exploration capabilities, and our diplomatic skills. In return, we ask for protection and training. Training? Nim's skin patterns shift to determined resolve. We cannot remain helpless in a dangerous galaxy. We do not wish to become warriors, but we must learn to defend ourselves and others who cannot. The proposal sparks intense discussion. The Keth would maintain their peaceful nature while learning basic self-defense. Humans would gain access to advanced Keth science and serve as protectors for Keth exploration missions. Most importantly, the alliance would include a mutual defense pact. There's something else. Park interrupts from the communications station. I'm receiving priority messages from command. Word of our encounter has spread. 7 other peaceful species have requested similar alliances with Earth. Miller exchanges glances with Blake. 7? It gets better, sir. The Vrak Confederation has issued an ultimatum demanding the return of their prisoners in compensation for their destroyed ships. They're claiming we committed an act of war. How long do we have? 72 hours to respond. Elder Nim's skin shows concern mixed with determination. Captain, the Keth Collective will stand with humanity in this matter. The Vrak attacked. Use unprovoked. Any retaliation they attempt is unjustified. With respect, Elder, your people aren't equipped for war. No, Nim agrees, but we have something else. We have detailed scans of the ancient technology the Vrak wanted. Our analysis suggests it's a defensive system of unprecedented power. If we can understand it. Dr. Chun looks up from her medical reports. There's more. The Keth physiology is naturally resistant to most known toxins and diseases. If they're willing to share that genetic information, we could develop defenses against biological weapons. Over the following hours, the alliance takes shape. The Keth-Human Compact, as it comes to be known, establishes several key principles. mutual defense against aggression, shared scientific research, joint exploration missions, cultural exchange programs, training for peaceful species in self-defense. When the Vrak ultimatum expires, their response comes in the form of a battle fleet 37 ships demanding satisfaction for the humiliation of their defeat. They find the human starbase protected not just by Terran defense forces, but by a coalition of newly allied species. The Keth provide advanced sensors and defensive technology. The aquatic Murhai offer their expertise in three-dimensional tactical thinking. The crystalline Zephyrite contribute energy weapons that complement human firepower. Captain Miller, now promoted to Admiral and commanding the new Allied Defense Force, addresses the Vrak Fleet Commander with words that will echo through galactic history. This is Admiral Miller of the Allied Defense Force. You attacked peaceful beings who called for help. We answered that call, and we will continue to answer. Every species has the right to exist in peace. Every civilization has the right to explore and grow. And every aggressor will learn that the alliance between warriors and peacemakers is stronger than any fleet you can bring against us. The Vrak fleet retreats, but the message spreads across the galaxy. Humanity has found its purpose among the stars, not as conquerors, but as guardians, not as rulers, but as friends to those who seek peace. The Deathworlders have chosen to be protectors, and the universe will never be the same. The end.